beautiful down here. I didn't realise they've really done a nice job. They've kind of cordoned off a few different rooms and.
Yeah, this room is brilliant for these classes because of the mats as well. I have 20 trampolines ready to go.
Nice, and you'll be able to. All the women can look at it. Burly construction guys as well.
Oh yeah,
that always
sure,
helps.
why not? Always
it's good to have the village people out your door, out your window. Now, I was surprised before we get on to the fact that on 6th of May you'll be doing your Tuesday classes 10 a.m.
Yes.
You had 20 years of experience in BBX. How long of a wheelie can you do now?
What do you mean?
BBX, that's bikes, isn't it?
I was like, well, it could be.
What is BBX? Because I looked it up, I was thinking, what does it actually stand for? Because I know it's popular, but I was...
Yes, so I actually changed it to BBX. It's actually called Boogie Bounce Xtreme.
Right.
But I find if you say Boogie Bounce Xtreme, people are like, that sounds a bit scary.
Okay.
It sounds fun with the boogie, and then why is it extreme?
Gotcha.
So I said, leave it at BBX Xtreme and let them, or BBX, and let them come in and see for themselves.
Boom. Now, we should jump back a little bit. I know that you said that this kind of fitness made a huge difference to you, that you know, when you had panic attacks early on, it made a huge difference. When your daughter Emma arrived, it also made a difference that you had this other part of your life that made you feel really good, and therefore just boosted confidence and just gave you that good feeling that life is great.
Oh yeah.
When was that first kind of entering into, were you a teenager when this happened? Were you in your 20s?
So when I left school, like I was, you know, normal kid, like generally healthy or whatever. And then I thought I was actually going to become a presenter. I was convinced I wanted to be in media, went to college. I actually wanted to be a weather woman.
Ah,
So
wow,
that was the thing. So I did media, loved that. And then I think in my very early 20s, out of nowhere, I started having really bad panic attacks. And I'm 40 now, so back then it was never really talked about, like mental health, panic attacks, any of that kind of stuff. So I really didn't know what was happening. I was hospitalized a few times over them.
Wow.
And physically it affected me a lot. I couldn't do a lot of day-to-day things. So I had gone to the doctor and they prescribed me antidepressants, and I was only about 19, 20 at the time. And honestly, I remember walking out of the doctor's, I read the back of the pills and the side effects just looked so much worse than what I was experiencing. And I was so young, and the fact they had to wean off them, I was like, I knew I wasn't depressed. I was just maybe sad because I was going through panic attacks, if you know what I mean. So I thought I'd figure it out myself and maybe heal myself. And I started getting into fitness, you know, just walking, running, that kind of thing. And I ended up teaching Pilates for a while. And this woman came to me one day and she was like, your energy, I feel like you could do so much more with your energy, because I'm quite hyper. I have a lot of energy. So Pilates maybe didn't suit my vibe. But she said she saw in a newspaper article this thing called Boogie Bounce, and it hadn't launched in Ireland. It was over in the UK at the time. And she's like, I think you need to go over there and get qualified. So I remember saying to my parents, I'd never been on a plane on my own or anything, and they were like, just go. So they funded it, bless them. Went over, scared, in a hotel, whatever, went to the BBX course. It's just me and another lady, and loved it, fell in love with it, because it's literally dancing on a trampoline. It's just something about it. I was like, okay, this is going to be the thing that...
And it was still relatively new, so you know, people obviously now in Ireland especially, they've taken aboard a huge amount of different types of exercise. You mentioned Pilates, that's great for the stoners. There's just lots of different types of, and it's all sort of been really in the last 20 years that people have gone beyond, you know, going for a good walk or playing a bit of football. Did you kind of recognise that this could take off? Were you
100%? I think I was always a bit like, you know, even when I was a kid, like setting up my own little business and stuff. I used to like sell little sweets outside, like in the back garden. I think I was only like 6 or 7. So I think I always knew I'd love to work for myself. And again, back then I was kind of new, like, you know, this is 20 years ago. But I was like, this could be the thing, because it wasn't in Ireland. There was no, you know, this kind of, it wasn't big. I'd never heard of it. So I was like, I'm going to bring it to Ireland. I'm going to launch it here. And I did. And it was
and practically, was that easy? I don't know whether you can get the trampolines quite easily, whether it was an easy sell to people to sort of say, well, I know that you haven't done this before, but believe me, it's fun, and you can dance and you can jump, and you know.
Yes, I remember, because back then there was no social media, so there was no Facebook, Instagram, there was nothing. So what I had to do was newspaper articles, or they had things like, you know, like the deals, like social deals online that you could do. So I did a lot of that. The trampolines, thankfully now, the company that I basically work with, I'm the master trainer now, they sell these trampolines and they're amazing, but back then there was none, so I did have to source them myself. But I don't know, with the help of my mum and dad, they were actually very good. They helped me, we sourced them, we got them out from the UK, and I think I bought maybe 25 or 30, just I went all in and set up in Wesley Rugby Club, actually in Donnybrook, where my dad is the manager, so that worked out well.
Andy Pandy.
So, exactly, so I had the hall to set up there, and it was just word of mouth, and by day one we were packed, and it was all cash in hand. It was like brand new, and people, once they try one class, I don't want to like kick myself in the foot here, but it is very addictive. Like you
Right.
there's something about the feeling of being with everyone, the music, the feel good endorphins, and it also is low impact. So if a lot of women who came to me, and men who maybe had knee problems or back problems from running or different things, they could all do this, and all ages could do it, but being pain free. So once you're in, you're in. I have the same clients now for 20 years, which is incredible.
It's got that nice element of being slightly silly. It feels like bouncy castle time, like you shouldn't really be doing this.
Yeah.
And it kind of puts a giddy level.
It does. Everyone does be laughing in the class. And it's funny because you do laugh, you kind of feel a bit like, oh, is this a workout? But my God, is it a workout?
Right. Because you do mention the fact that you also, within the classes that you do, you've got, the rebound bounce, and you've got the resistance bands. And resistance band, that's not the Wolf Tones, is it? Because they were quite...
Yeah,
but you obviously add sort of other colours to what people can do, and they can choose what works for them and different parts of the body.
Exactly, like that's it, exactly. Because I had a lot of people who thought, oh, this is just a cardiovascular workout, and it's incredible for your heart and lungs, lymphatic system, your mental health, all that, bone density, hormone balance. I could go on and on about the benefits, but it's incredible for resistance training because we do a lot of sculpting at the end. We add in dumbbells as well, some resistance bands. So you're really getting a full body workout, not just cardiovascular, but resistance training as well. So,
and we should say, Go Gym, it seems to be almost like a little village upon itself, because there's a huge amount of different people coming down here to get different types of exercise, but there seems to be an overall sense of this is where you come, this is where you... So that must be a nice feeling that you're sort of in a community, really.
Oh, 100%. Like I feel like absolutely blessed. Like I only moved here. I used to live in Greystones years ago. Then during COVID, I moved to Portugal, came back, and we only came back to Greystones in January. And there's something about the feeling here. And because there's no rebounding class in Greystones, I just feel like the timing has been perfect. And then obviously getting into this lovely gym as well, and the fact that they don't even have any trampoline, on their schedule. I just feel like I'm hoping it's going to be a success and people are going to come and enjoy it.
Now, we said Tuesdays, 10 a.m., starting May 6th.
Yes.
I'm guessing there'll be an expansion then as you kind of progress and people get to know it. You'll have that sort of ability to expand to other days and
yes. Well,
other
that's definitely the hope. The Tuesday 10 a.m. and then I'm also launching a Thursday 9:15, and I'm in talks to have an evening class because I've got a lot of people asking about that. So yes, hoping to build on that.
Rock and roll. Well, we'll have all the links above. We'll have the contact and all that, so people definitely know you're here. And
amazing.
Nicely done, my son.
Thank you.